Hey everyone, welcome back to Lumani Unfiltered. This is where we tackle all the wild, weird, and oh so frustrating realities of healthcare. I'm Stephanie, your resident health navigation wingwoman. Today's story, well, let me tell you, this week has been bananas. It involves my daughter, her wisdom teeth, and a $3,000 surprise demand at our dentist's office. If that's not a recipe for panic, I don't know what is. But first, how's everyone doing? Are we all surviving all the random adulting crises that pop up each week? If your answer is barely, then you're in good company. We're all in this together, after all, dealing with insurance confusion, surprise bills, and all the joys of modern healthcare. Before we dive in, some quick housekeeping. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel and podcast so you never miss an episode of Lumani Unfiltered. Head over to the show notes for our links to my free 15-minute consultation calendar because, yeah, sometimes you just need another human who's been through it to help decode that crazy bill. All right, ready? Let's jump in. So, picture this. I have two daughters, almost 2 years apart. They're living on the opposite sides of the country. And apparently, they both decided to have the same wisdom teeth meltdown at the exact same time. Because why not? Life's more fun that way, right? My younger daughter calls me in a frantic tone, practically moaning, "Mom, my face hurts. My head hurts. I think I have the flu and I'm pretty sure my teeth are falling out." Now, if you knew my daughter, you'd know she's not exactly subtle when she's in pain. But this time her drama turned out to be legit. She did have infected wisdom teeth. I'm on the other side of the country, juggling job responsibilities, random phone calls, and let's be honest, my own meltdown, because who loves hearing their child in pain? No one. Mom guilt levels, 1,000%. And this is just the beginning of our saga. So there I was, trying to coordinate an emergency dental appointment, cross-checking coverage on my PPO dental plan, and confirm if it's in network, out of network, no network, all while explaining to my daughter, "Please, for the love of everything, remember your insurance information this time." Spoiler alert, she didn't. Okay, let's talk about my younger daughter for a hot second. And she is probably going to flip her lid when she hears any of this. She's an absolute rock star at work. Everybody loves her in her social life. But when it comes to scheduling an appointment or just remembering her insurance number, it's like her brain doesn't function. I mean, I email it, I text it to her, I verbally give it to her over the phone. I even joke about getting it tattooed on her arm. So, of course, when the dentist's office asks her, "What's your member ID?" she blankly stares at them, or when talking to them over the phone, like they're speaking in another language. And then what happens? My phone starts blowing up with frantic phone calls or text messages off the rail. Sure, it's a mild annoyance, but then comes the big wave of mom guilt. Because I'm thinking, did I not teach her well enough? Did I helicopter too much? And now she can't handle an insurance card? Anyone else feel me on this? It's that conflicting feeling of wanting them to be independent, but also wanting to just do it all for them so they don't suffer. Anyway, I log into our so-called diamond level PPO plan, which basically means they charge me an arm and a leg every month. But that's good coverage, right? Found a local dentist who supposedly was in network, could see her that evening, and was close enough that she could Uber. Perfect scenario. But oh, my sweet summer child, we were so naive. So the big day arrives. She's sitting in the dentist chair and we're on the phone. And the next thing I know, my daughter's practically having a panic attack because the front desk tells her, "Oh, the oral surgeon isn't in network. So you'll have to wait or pay out of pocket." Excuse me, what the fuck? This is a new one. In network is the dentist, but out of network is the oral surgeon? Because why? You have a preference of surgeons that you work with? Is this some kind of cosmic joke? I started imagining the surgeon turning into a pumpkin at midnight. Poof, now you owe thousands? So I'm 3,000 miles away hearing my daughter flip her lid about excruciating pain and also about owing who knows how much money. The front desk folks are telling her basically, get the surgery now and pay full price, or you can wait until a couple weeks because maybe your insurance will cover it then. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to keep it together. So I decide, fine, I'll let my daughter go home from the appointment, which happened to be on a Friday. I'll call first thing Monday morning when the officer manager's in, because apparently nobody is returning calls over the weekend. My daughter spends the weekend with a puffy ballooned face, living on soup and Netflix, thinking she might owe a kidney in exchange for the surgery. Fun times, right? Monday morning, I'm on the phone the second the office opens. I'm armed with policy numbers, group numbers, coverage details, screenshots, the whole shebang. I basically say, hey, I see you're in network. Why are you telling my daughter otherwise? After 15 minutes of me calmly, semi calmly reciting coverage details, they discover my daughter gave them the wrong info. Because of course she did. Once we correct that, they're like, oh, yeah, we do take that plan. Everything should be fine for the procedure. Great. Crisis averted, right? Huh. Not so fast. Because come the day of the procedure, which was the next day, my daughter walks in, signs some paperwork, and the receptionist says, that'll be $3,000 up front. You can't go back for the surgery until you pay. Insert record scratch. That's a big sum to hear with zero forewarning, especially for a 20-something-year-old who's already freaking out about anesthesia and tooth extractions. So, yes, she calls me in a total panic again, asking what to do. Because the dentist or the staff or whoever basically told her pay up front or go home, which is not how health coverage is supposed to work if you're in network and everything is pre-approved. So I get on the phone with these folks and I'm trying not to lose my cool. They say it's a copay, which is absolutely not correct if the claim hasn't been submitted. At best, it's an estimate. At worst, they're just randomly grabbing a number to see if I'll pay. I calmly ask for an itemized breakdown, like, I want to see line by line how you arrived at 3 grand. Show me the sedation fees, the extraction fees, the infection control fees, the x rays, everything. The front desk staff gets frustrated and tries to bounce me to the manager. Then the manager bounces me to their manager. By the time I get to the top, it's the office manager's manager who basically goes, oh, well, that might be a little high. We can reduce it by 75% if you want, just in case insurance covers it. I'm sorry. That's not how healthcare pricing works, people. Anyway, I pay a partial amount just to ensure the procedure can happen because my daughter's in agony and I'm not letting them send her home. I make it crystal clear. We will wait for the insurance claim to process. I want everything itemized and I expect a refund if you're overcharging me. They grudgingly agree. In spite of all the stress that happened before her big procedure, all went well, thank goodness. My daughter is hopped up on pain meds, antibiotics, and Netflix, recuperating at home. I'm so relieved she's not in searing pain anymore. But I'm still left with a ton of questions. Why the $3,000 demand with no warning? Why did no one call on Monday to clarify? Why was the front desk using terms like copay for what was basically a we want your money now request? This, my friends, is the epitome of a surprise billing scenario. And it's also a cautionary tale about how front desk staff or billing departments might not always know how insurance works or the appropriate insurance lingo. They might have quotas or internal policies pushing them to collect money in advance. We, the patients and parents, get stuck in a whirlwind of confusion. Lesson learned. You have to be willing to be your own bulldog or your child's bulldog. Don't just hand over 3 grand because they said so. If you have coverage, confirm it. Demand itemized statements. Advocate for your rights. Because an in network provider should only charge you what your plan dictates after the claim processes, unless you have a known deductible or copayment. A big random lump sum, that's a huge red flag. All right, let's break it down into 4 quick lessons so you can keep your sanity if you ever face a similar scenario. 1, never assume in network means smooth sailing. Double and triple check coverage details. Have them email you confirmation or get a screenshot of your insurance portal. One slip up and you could be paying huge out of pocket amounts. 2, get an itemized breakdown. Don't just pay a lump sum. Ask, how did you calculate this amount? What are the service codes? What's the negotiated rate in my plan? If they can't provide details, that's your first sign to pump the brakes. 3, be ready to negotiate or at least push back. Sometimes offices use placeholders or worst case estimates. Politely stand your ground, speak to higher ups, and clarify real versus estimated charges. And lastly, train your kids and yourself to know insurance basics. Our kids might be adulting in every other area, but insurance remains a mystery. Share coverage documents, talk them through the process, and yes, remind them to screenshot their cards. Spare yourself the 3 a.m. phone call of, Mom, I forgot my ID number. If you do these 4 things, you'll still have headaches, but hopefully fewer financial nightmares when dealing with medical or dental offices. So here we are, 2 daughters with epic wisdom teeth stories happening all in the same week. I know we only heard about one of them, but the other was just as epic, maybe for another time. Both are on the mend now after super traumatic, borderline comedic fiascos with the dentist's office. I'm still waiting for the final official bill, but at least I'm prepared this time. I'm sharing this because it's not just about wisdom teeth or being a parent. It's about navigating a system that can feel downright hostile if you don't speak the insurance language. It's about those stressful moments when you're literally thousands of miles away trying to help your kid. It's about that second guessing you do. Should I have done something differently? Could I have prevented this stress? But the truth is, sometimes you can do everything right and it still goes sideways. That's just the reality of healthcare in 2025. And if you're dealing with your own mini crises, maybe your kid is calling you about rent or your spouse is freaking out about a new medical bill, just breathe. Remember, you're not alone. Sometimes adulting just means surviving these random storms with a sense of humor and a little bit of grit. So that's it for today's episode of Lumani Unfiltered. I hope our cautionary tale about the $3,000 dental surprise brightened your day, or at least equipped you with tips to fight back if you ever face something similar. If you found this episode helpful, go ahead and give it a like and share it with a friend who's always complaining about dentist bills, and subscribe if you haven't already. Looking for more personal guidance? Remember, I offer free 15-minute consultations to help decode your insurance plan or strategize for your next healthcare move. Check the link in the show notes. Feeling the vibe here? Then get ready for the Lumani VIP Circle launching soon. You'll get members-only content, Q&A sessions, and behind-the-scenes peeks. Think of it like having a backstage pass to grown-up life. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Remember, always double-check the fine print, keep screenshots of your insurance details, and never pay a dime without itemized breakdowns. Your wallet and your sanity will thank you. Until next time, stay curious, advocate for yourself, stay informed, and stay unfiltered. See you soon. Bye, everyone.